In this episode of Blockheadz Create, we're going to be building a couple of doors and the villager breeder. We're also going to be building this completely fully automated iron farm you see behind me, and this steam engine that you see behind me. If you guys saw the end of last episode, you know that I need a door. Anyway, I also wanted to build an elevator right here in our villager breeder. I think I'm going to start with that because it's a little bit simpler. All right, to do this elevator, I'm going to place a mechanical piston right there. Next, I'm going to attach a gear shift to that, and when this gear shift gets powered by a redstone signal, that will tell the thing to go up or down. I want this thing to go up 5 blocks, so all we have to do is make a 5-block long row of these, or column, I guess, of these piston extension poles. 4, 5. I'm going to dig under here a ways and see if I can find a place to get the power from. I'm going to pull power from this right here. Okay, put in the shafts. Put in a large cogwheel this way, and then another large cogwheel that way. And this should also be what we're going to power our door off of. There we go. And now you can see our elevator. So in theory, this is going to work because this should pass by this button, because when things are moving, they are invisible blocks. I need to put this powered toggle latch right here. Now what this thing does is a create device. What it does is it's going to toggle based on a signal. So basically if I power it, it will toggle on, and now it's giving me a signal on. And then if I power it again, it will toggle off. So now there's going to be like our elevator floor thingy. And then if I use super glue, I can glue another onto that, like that. And then hopefully those will be glued together and they will pass right by this button. Yes, it worked as I had hoped. Okay, I've gone ahead and put all the decorative blocks back. So now when I press this, it will come down for me, and then press this, it'll go back up. I could do this all day. I won't, but I could. So we're going to use a similar method to do the door here. Let me show you what I did. So I put a piston on either side because I want the door to kind of close in the middle. And so then the door is going to slide from the right and left. And then what I did is I put a vertical gearbox on each one of these pistons, which attaches to another vertical gearbox, which goes to this center area here. Where there's the gear shift. That gear shift is what's going to turn things forward and backwards and move the pistons. I think what I'm going to do is start with a button here and a button there. The redstone signal comes from the button onto a torch, onto there, into another torch, onto there, and then it goes into this the power toggle latch, and then that powers the clutch, a block there and a block there, and then strip them. And I hope I have enough super glue. Super glue on those 3. Oh, it only shows up when I'm holding the super glue. That's really cool. Can't even tell if there's anything operating inside of it. It's so fun. Okay, I'm going to declare this room completely done. Okay, so there are, of course, multiple options for things that we could do next. I want to build more farms. Oh boy, see what you've done? Now the thing is going the wrong direction. What I really need to do, though, is I really need to build something that will help me acquire a particular resource that I keep running out of all the time. And it's just a pain, and I'm tired of dealing with it. So I think today is the day that we're going to build an iron farm. So I am not going to be doing any villagers or iron golems or anything like that. What happens here is you can put cobblestone in this contraption, and it will very slowly load into this crushing wheel. The crushing wheels will then turn the cobblestone into gravel. I promise it does it. There it is. And then go through this washing system, which when this gravel gets washed, there's a 10% chance that we will get an iron nugget, like that. So in here you can see we have a lot of flint and a few iron nuggets. Unfortunately, this is not very fast as far as giving me iron nuggets. The first problem is I have to keep loading cobblestone into it, which isn't that big of a deal because I actually have a ton of cobblestone from auto mining and stuff, but it is kind of like limited to the fact that like as soon as it runs out, it's gonna stop making iron. The second problem with it is that these crushing wheels are just way too slow. As you can see, they're going slow. Now I could speed them up with some gears, absolutely, but these things are probably the highest stress-inducing components in the whole all of Create mod. So in other words, I need like a lot of power to run them fast. And then this washing system needs some upgrades. Like I need a way to automatically get rid of the flint. And I would like to have a dedicated washing machine to wash just simply sand. Gravel. It's called gravel. The gray stuff is gravel. The tan stuff is sand. That's right. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a place and we are going to build a dedicated farm that's going to produce cobblestone automatically. It's going to grind much faster, wash automatically, get rid of the flint, pack the nuggets into ingots, and put them in a chest or set of chests for us so that we don't have to worry about iron so much anymore. Before I build this thing, you guys know me pretty well. You probably know what I'm worried about and stressed about right now. Where am I going to put it? This is one place I was thinking about building it, not in the middle of the ocean, of course, although that would be kind of interesting. Gotcha. Okay, rather in this hillside is what I meant to say. Because it's kind of an interesting hillside, and I think that we could do some really cool things, like with some wood and stuff. Okay, so this is the location in this wall here somewhere, if I can get down to it. There's some really interesting coincidences that just happened. One interesting coincidence, probably the most interesting, is the fact that this level right here, 72, that I'm at, where I decided to build this thing, is actually the same level as the front entrance for where I want to make the front entrance. It like did not coordinate that, just happened. It's kind of sad that this is my XP farm right now. I will say it's good enough to repair my tools and get some emeralds though. I upgraded my automatic crafting thing so I can make these crushing wheels. Here we go. Okay, I've dug out this whole entire area pretty easy using that auto miner thingy. So here, these are going to be the bays where we're going to have lava and water, and then drills above them to turn the cobblestone into, you know, little cobblestone pebble thingies. They'll go into these chutes and then into these chests. Okay, this thing's a little crazy. So the cobblestone is going to get broken there. It's going to fall into a water stream, come into this chute, go down onto this thing. This filter is set at 64, so that means I'm going to be setting an entire stack of cobblestone out every time. And that's kind of important because the idea is that it's going to be crushed by the two crushing wheels. Yes, they do work sideways on top of a belt. That does work. The items are going to get crushed. The gravel's going to come up here. Then we're going to go into these andesite tunnels. Then what we have to do is put this on preferred nearest. There it is. That way what it'll do is that whenever one of these is open, it's just going to put it in the nearest one. And it's really, really cool because you can just put one tunnel in front of where the input is, and then it will evenly distribute across all of them, which is really cool. There we are. Okay. That's pretty good. And then now, this is the cobblestone that's actually going to get cut out of here. I just put this in so that lava didn't like fall on the ground or anything weird happen. This is actually going to make cobblestone here and here because I have water here in these stairs. And so when the lava hits the stair block, it's going to turn into cobblestone. Okay, next I got these encased fans right here, and then we're going to put trapdoors in front like that. And then we're going to put some water in there. Just like that. And then those fans will blow water on this whole area and then hopefully wash the gravel that's going to come through. The gravel's then going to turn into flint or nothing or iron nuggets. All right, so everything is more or less set up here. I have all the drills in place, and I also put in the rest of the lava for this unit. Everything I think is going the right direction. I had to use a hand crank because I don't have power yet. Because we need a lot of power to run this thing. Originally, I was going to just do one of these modules and use a windmill. But I convinced Desbit to update the server to 1.18.2 and create 0.5. And in create 0.5, we have steam engines. So that's the next thing I'm going to build. Okay, we have all the materials that we're going to need for this pump thing. We got the steam engine, which was a copper block, an andesite alloy, and a gold sheet. And then we also got a bunch of blaze burners. I actually went to the Nether to pick those up. It's kind of interesting. You make the blaze like frame catcher thingy, and then you just right click on the blaze. They go in there, and it's really fun. Let's go build these steam engines. This is the configuration I decided to do. So basically you take the fluid tanks and you set them next to each other, and then they build this one giant tank. What we're going to do is we're going to then pipe water into each of these at the bottom, I guess. There we go. Like that. And then what I was going to do, and this is totally not necessary, but you do have to use a water source. I could just put a water source like right here, but what I wanted to do, just to be kind of fun, is take the water pipe and stick it outside and down in the water that's in the river there. So I think that'd be really cool to do it that way. Now there's like a limit to how far these pumps can pump, so I don't know if I'm going to hit that limit or not, but if I do, then we'll just put a pump outside. It's not a big deal. Okay, went ahead and put a pump there. Okay, I got the water pipe all in and the pump, I think, in the right place. Now all I have to do is put in these engines. And what you have to do is like put a shaft on it. Man, it is like incredibly difficult to get these things to go the direction you want to. Wow, there we go. Look at all the attempts I made up here. Try to get it to go the right direction. Okay, the tricky part about these things, though, is you have to feed these blaze with deployers. Now, you can use blaze or you can use campfires, but the problem is campfires don't give you a whole lot of power. So for now, we're just going to be feeding these guys some oak logs, I think is the way to go. Okay, that's all set and ready to go. Now, I think all I have to do is feed one of these guys some wood or something to get him blazing. There we go. We're just going to go ahead and hit it with this hand crank to get water in here. I probably should not have done it this way with the water from the stream. Rod on my right spin when it gets started. Oh, you know what? I don't think I hooked it up to the top. Okay, now everything should be connected. I put a gear here that's going to power these things, and then that should do it. All right, I think the arrows are pointed the correct direction. We should be getting the stuff into the pipe. There is the water. Okay, once this hits the boiler, as long as those blazes are still active, then we should be good. You can only turn a crank like that for so long, and then you like run out of food. Okay, I think that water is in this one, though, or at least it should be. It's like the thing's broken or something. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, so this thing's been giving me some fits. I've been trying to figure out how in the world to get it started. So one problem that I see is I think I need more water in here. So what I did is I moved a water source a little closer, and then that's going to make it so that I should be able to crank on this hand crank a little bit easier and get the water flowing into this thing, and then hopefully it will just start up. Bruh, I've been cranking on this stupid thing for quite a while now, and I'm getting tired of it. So I think what I'm going to do is build a water wheel to run the pump to get the thing started, because it's just not starting, and I don't know why. We've got ourselves a little water wheel, a little series of gears. This thing is now pumping. The water is slowly rising. Hopefully this will fill the tank. Okay, I finally got the thing to work. I just broke down and put water sources here. I think that pumping it from that far down just wasn't an option because it wouldn't let me do like 2 pumps on the same line. I think what I have to do that is I'd have to put like a secondary tank, and then like a water tank, and then fill the water tank, and then empty the water tank over here. And I just didn't really want to go through all of that. So this is working now, and I added 2 more pumps to each one. I changed up kind of the way that the thing works, and we have quite a decent amount of output, 65,000 stress units like per boiler, I think. Okay, I got these powered. The grinding wheels are now powered. Miracle of miracles, they're actually going the right direction too. So, okay, the last thing we need to do is make this filter. Wool and 2 iron nuggets like that. Right-click this filter and allow through only iron nuggets and flint. And now this filter is created, and I can place this filter here. And why can't I place it in more than one spot? That is super annoying. All the other items in this game, when you put them in the filter slot, like you don't actually not using the item. But apparently here, we have to use the item. So now I have to go get more wool. Well, I gotta tell you, it's kind of funny. I finally got everything in place. I got all these filters in place. Everything's ready to go. And now I ran out of fuel. Okay, there's that problem fixed. Now the conveyor belt is running. That's wonderful. Just do not jump on that part of the conveyor belt because you will die. Okay, I think we're finally ready to make this thing work. Goodness gracious, this has literally been the most difficult thing I've ever built in Minecraft. I tell you what, oh my gosh, it's actually working. I completely, well, I didn't forget, but somehow I managed to not put in the flint filter. I don't know how that happened. Now the flint filter's in, I had to move everything over, and by some miracle, this conveyor is actually going in the right direction, and it's actually producing a decent amount of iron at the moment. Every time you hear that thing go clang, that's an iron ingot being made. We're finally getting iron ingots. This has literally been the most difficult thing I have ever built in Minecraft. It has been so complicated with all the gears and the speeds and all the little items I've had to craft, and then the whole issue with the pumps over there that almost made me pull my hair directly out of my skull. Yeah, it's been one heck of a difficult build. But now that this thing's built, I can build more of these iron things. I can build ones that make gold. Yeah, I can do a lot. I don't know if it's any faster than an iron farm that I could have built in half the time with half the resources. But it seems to be working. Wow, it's in the green. It's low, 28%. Yeah, that means I could build like 2 more of them, which is about what I have space for. So that's not bad at all. Well, I think that's going to be it for the episode. I really wanted to make the fuel thing that goes with this, but I think we're going to have to do that next episode. Well, guys and gals, this has been Hex. I hope you've enjoyed this episode here on the BlockHeads Create. And more importantly, I hope you're having a much better day than I am. God bless.